everyone, I am Mecha42, your favorite YouTube Harpy, and we are talking about the Orville. I always get so excited talking about the Orville because it's Star Trek. It is exactly what Star Trek is. So I'll give you a little quick spoiler-free kind of score and impressions, and then we'll kind of get into more of the episode breakdown. 10 out of 10. I love this episode. If you like Star Trek The Next Generation, if you like best of both worlds level writing, if you like good classic Trek, like the Trek we grew up with, the Trek that we know and love and have loved for decades, you will like the Orville. There's moments of kind of fun. There's kind of moments of, it's not Family Guy in space. It really isn't Family Guy in space. It's closer to kind of Stargate level of humor. If you liked Stargate SG-1 and Atlantis and a lot of the kind of interpersonal reactions between the crew and like the teams on Stargate, you will probably like the humor in the Orville. It's not a lot of toilet jokes. It's really not a lot of dick jokes, even though we do kind of say, oh yeah, it's Star Trek with dick jokes. It's really not so bad. It's kind of almost appropriate, you know. There's episodes where, and this is from like last season, for example, where Ed Mercer, Seth Macfarlane, Captain Ed, he does say, hey, you're being a dick to somebody. That sort of level of, you know, humor. It is kind of like Star Trek without the stick up its butt. It's Star Trek where Seinfeld exists and pop culture. It is hitting all the notes I loved of Stargate Atlantis, of Stargate SG-1, and this episode hit some Babylon 5 moments for me, and I am a huge Babylon 5 fan. It hit it with space battles. Oh my god, the space battles in this episode! I don't have enough nice things to say. I'm not usually very articulate when it comes to like positive reviews of stuff. I can find, you know, 20 ways to rip something a new one, but when is something amazing like this, I just have to kind of go and tell you guys what it hits for me, which notes it's going to hit for me. And yeah, you had Babylon 5 epic space battles. There were some plot twists, and there was a little bit of predictability in this episode as well. I did kind of predict some of it. I didn't predict all of it. Definitely check out my video from the last review. This is Identity Part 2, if I didn't say. You probably saw it anyway on the title of the video. It's Identity Part 2, is the second part of a two-parter. I am so glad we didn't have to wait until the next season to see it. It was epic. It was amazing. It like I said, it hit all the right notes for me. It's kind of like a love letter to the science fiction shows I love, with a crew that is remarkable and fun, and I want to hang out with them. I want to be on that ship. You know, I want to spend an hour of my week with these people every week because they're fun and they're competent. They know what they're doing. They might joke around. They might have some sense of humor sometimes. It's really not nearly as bad as the show is marketed. And I think a lot of why this show has been marketed so, or why a lot of the show is kind of, it has less of a fan base than it should, is because people are like, oh yeah, I don't like Family Guy. It's going to be Family Guy in space. It's not. It's really not. It's really not. Trust me, it is not Family Guy in space. Seth Macfarlane might be probably one of the weaker actors on the show, but he's the captain. You have a true ensemble cast, and that being said, there is nothing wrong with his acting. If and I'm just like comparing him to the rest of the crew and the cast, where some of these characters are just blowing it out of the water. Like they're just Isaac, the robot, Mark Jacobs, I believe is his name. He can act through a helmet, a robot helmet, and a robot suit with his body, just with head tilts. You feel so much more emotion and expression than a character like Michael Burnham on Discovery, or a character, or Brie Larson for Captain Marvel, for example. This actor can portray contemplation, regret, curiosity through a costume, through a giant helmet, just with his body. It's kind of amazing. Penny Johnson Gerald, Dr. Claire, oh, I love her so much. She is wise, competent. Like, they set her up in the very pilot episode that, you know, she's the very wise. She's the kind of the veteran. She's a little older than the rest of the crew. Not much though, not much. But she specifically flat out in the pilot says, "No, I'm here because you need me." She's not smug. She's not a bitch about it. She comes across as a confident, wise, intelligent, competent person. This is what I love about the Orville. Every character on this ship, even if they kind of screw around sometimes, are super hyper competent. They know their military. They know, you know, the chain of command. They know respect. They know their jobs on that ship. They have jobs. They have characters. They have personalities. I can tell you something about every character without describing what they look like on the Orville. And that is something that is really, really lacking on Discovery. And yes, I do compare the two because one is actually Star Trek and one is Star Trek in name only, basically. And by say the Orville is actually Star Trek, we have people who worked on Star Trek on this show. And we really, really don't with Discovery, except for Alex Kurtzman, who did the JJ movies, which, you know, to be fair, who cares about the JJ movies? I don't, and it's fine if you guys do. I don't really particularly find them to be very good Star Trek. Now, let's get into the spoilers. So, you've been warned. Spoilers, full spoiler warning. Okay, this episode is the second part of the conclusion of Identity Part 1, or it's the conclusion of Identity, basically. In the last episode, we end up, Isaac gets shut down, and they go to the Kaelon homeworld. The Orville goes to the Kaelon homeworld to get him revived. Oh, wait, it's a trap. They're going to go and destroy all of Earth. So we kind of pick up right where that one left off, where they're headed towards Earth with a whole bunch of Kaelon ships. They answer some of the questions I had from last time. I did have a few questions like, why did they keep everybody alive? They answer that because they need them to basically say, hey, everything's fine. Take down the Earth defense thing. We're just here to talk. It's so good. It's so wonderful. There's a great joke in here too. They've kind of established, you know, a pee corner. Yeah, just don't go to the pee corner. Oh, sorry, I was in the pee corner, Gordon says. That's interesting. That's really important. And there's another thing that they'll probably do. They'll probably come back to that, and they'll probably have an episode where you see somebody in the background installing a lavatory in the shuttle bay, because everybody's being held in the shuttle bay. And yeah, humans have biological needs. I love that they kind of pay attention to that. They know and they understand. Humans have biological needs sometimes. So yeah, they would have that, and yes. So we have that little plot. They do answer a few questions there. They come across another ship out of the blue. I can't remember the name of the ship, but it's somebody that Ed knows, and he basically says, "Oh yeah, nothing's wrong here. Nothing's wrong." Kind of like you do. Because he's got all the Kaelon on the bridge with him, and as he's talking to this other ship that he knows, he knew this guy and from, like, I guess the academy or something. Anyway, he knew this captain before, so he says, just make sure to go tell them, you know, we're coming in, give them a full 13-button salute. Which is kind of code for, you know, hey, something's not right here. I really kind of wish, instead of using a pre-designated one that the Kaelon knew about right away, I really wish it would have been something a little more random, you know, like getting a fact wrong intentionally that the Kaelon wouldn't have noticed. But the Kaelon, of course, saw through this trick, and they're like, yeah, there's no such thing. That's actually code for this, for something's wrong. Call the admirals. Call, you know, the Union. I always want to say call Starfleet. Call the Union. Oh, I love that. And they didn't fall for his trick, so then they take some random ensign. And they take the captain, and they take this random ensign, stick him in the airlock, and the captain's like, wait. You feel more for this one random red shirt ensign than I've at least felt for anybody on Discovery. I have laughed out loud every time somebody got killed on Discovery. This guy, I'm like, no, don't kill this guy. We've never seen him before, but don't kill him. Like, who is this guy? He might be important. You know, they give him a name. They say what he does. Even Isaac's there saying, yeah, we might need his skills. Even Isaac's kind of starting to see, wait a minute, we don't need to kill this guy. we might need his skills. And the other Kalons are like, yeah, Isaac, get the crap out of here, go away. They space the dude. They completely full on space the dude right in front of Ed, so Ed doesn't act up again. They also blew up the other ship too. The Kalon blew up the ship that Ed was trying to warn. Like, just 3 shots and the whole ship's destroyed. I'm like, oh, holy crap! All those guys are dead. And of course, the crew just witnessed it. Like, all these people died on that ship. Plus, now this ensign. You know, there's even a part where they do end up shooting. They try and get out. So they do try and get out. I'm skipping around in the episode because so much awesome stuff happened. Yaphet ends up squeezing through, like, basically a Jeffries tube sort of thing to go get some guns. They try and blast their way out. They can't do that. They end up shooting Tala, our new security chief. So they have to basically treat her. Ed convinces them to treat her because, like, yeah, if she's dead, then they're gonna know what's up. So you need to kind of make sure she's alive. And while they're doing that, I believe it's while they're doing that, Kelly then has the idea to take a shuttle out. You know, hey, while they're distracted, let's take a shuttle. I believe that was the order of the events. I was on the edge of my seat. It's definitely one of those episodes I'm going to go back to. I'm going to rewatch. When I love something, I don't sit there and kind of nitpick and pick apart every detail that I hate. And I don't know if you guys do that. Sometimes, like, if I hear a song that comes on in a store and I absolutely hate it, I remember every single word to it. That's not the case with the Orville. That is the case with Discovery. With the Orville, I'm like, oh, and then this happened, and wait a minute, this happened. So Gordon and Kelly end up, like, they're going to take a shuttle, but the little boy, Claire's son Finn, the youngest son, or Ty Finn is their last name, Ty. The little boy, he ends up, he's kind of acting up, and he wants to like run away and scream. He wants to run off and see Isaac, just like he did in the previous episode. But I believe that's when Tala got shot. If I can't, correct me if I'm wrong in that. Anyway, he realizes, oh crap, this is actually life and death. And they even give the little kid a character arc, like some growth, where he realizes, okay, well, you know, everybody's gonna die if I don't do this. We could be in serious danger. Let me help. I can, you know, I get it. I now understand the seriousness of our situation. They give him a character, a little kid. Dude, they wouldn't do that. They don't give the grown-ass adults character arcs on Discovery. This little kid gets a character arc. He ends up going off with Yaphet to try and send off a signal or something, just to distract everyone. And it's Yaphet's like, yes, I'm going to take care of your kid. I'm going to protect him. I'm going to do my best. Yaphet ends up, he takes out one of the Kalons. He just murders him. He takes out another one by kind of oozing into the Kalon suit and short-circuiting the Kalon. Because apparently he can do that. Yaphet, dude, we didn't see him in the last episode. We see him in this episode. He saves the day so many... Like, he's why. Every person on their ship has a job and they do something to contribute, pretty much. Almost everybody... Like, we don't see so much of Bortus. Bortus is more muscle in this one. Even Tala, she's a little bit more muscle because, well, she's security. But pretty much every character on the show does something. So, of course, they're headed towards Earth. Kelly and Gordon end up getting in a shuttle to escape. Their plan is to go to the Krill, the enemies. Such a Star Trek move. This is the thing I didn't even see. Everything else, I'm like, okay, well, everything else, like with Isaac, and that we're getting to that. Everything else I predicted. This Kelly and Gordon stuff, I'm like, oh, they're going to the Krill? Holy shit. So Gordon does a whole bunch of sciencey stuff. Like, yeah, I can actually... Well, we can't outrun all these Kalon, because they're getting chased by Kalon. We can't outrun the Kalon, but I could probably do something that I've read about that might work. I've never done it. So he ends up, like, just turning off all the life support, all of everything, and getting a nice boost into Krill space. And he's like, well, now we're here. Hopefully they see us. And of course, you know, Krill Ex Machina come in. And I'm okay with stuff like that. That's actually good for a show like this. Because, you know, yeah, you have some comedy timing. This show is not supposed to be as good as it is, I think. And you have this, you know, and here comes a Krill just right when we need them. And Kelly and Gordon negotiate. And they're further expanding Gordon's little negotiating sort of thing that he's finding he's doing. I hope they keep on that path. I hope they kind of train him in diplomacy. He's good. He's good at it. He's good. He's quick on his feet. He improvs. And he even convinces the Krill. He's like, well, yeah, well, guess what? I mean, they're going to wipe out everybody. You might as well believe us. Why would we lie? You know, we're two people in a shuttle. And then, you know, the Krill's like thinking about it, and then he sees the Kalon beaming, and he's like, you got a point. So the Krill help them. The Krill bring in a huge fleet with Gordon and Kelly. Gordon's on a Krill ship, or a little Krill fighter. He gets to pilot a Krill fighter. He's got some amazing one-liners, right? Didn't he have like a mouthful of Gordon line? This show's quotable. Good shows are quotable. Good shows are quotable, Star Trek. Keep that in mind, Discovery. Anyway, so yeah, they come in, they get to Earth. There's a huge space battle, right? This is even before the Krill show up. There's this huge space battle. You think they're going to lose, right? You think that, you know, they're calling in all of the ships. Which ones? They're not in range. All of them. Call in all of them. Every ship you have, even if they're not going to get here, call in every single ship. They're not going to get here for weeks, right? You think that they're actually going to lose. The space battle. This is what I'm talking about with Babylon 5. This is Babylon 5 level space battle stuff. You can see every different ship. Every ship looks unique to their species. You can tell what's going on. There's tension. There's drama. You know, you care. You're like, oh, that ship's gonna... Oh, they're gone. That ship's gonna... Oh, they're gone. And the Orville takes damage. Like some massive damage in this space battle. And of course, then the Krill come in, and people are like, oh shit, it's the Krill now? Now what? Oh, they're here to help. Okay, good. Let's go. Yes, this is how you do it. This is how you do Star Trek. Take note. See, and who am I preaching to? All the people who actually worked on Star Trek. You know, you got Andre Baramas, you got Rick Bermans, you got Star Trek people on the Orville. This is why it's good. So yeah, and of course then there's the other plot where with Isaac is going on at the same time, where I think even before the space battle. Yeah, this is even before the space battle. This is what happens when I get really excited. Before the space battle, they want Isaac to kill Ty, the little boy. They want him to kill the little boy. I thought initially they were gonna have like Claire, like make it so he has to kill Claire. And he wouldn't be able to do it because he loves her. But no, it's probably a little more touching that, you know, this is his kid basically. This kid he's kind of raised a little bit. You know, he's almost a stepdad to this kid. And of course he's like, no, I can't kill the kid. And he ends up killing the Kalon. He ends up even though the Kalon, like we find out why Isaac's a little different. He was built after the Kalons killed their own species. And I guess he was made without the pain receptors, because I guess their species put pain receptors inside of them so they could punish them when they acted up. Bad thing. Don't make robots feel pain. Seriously. And so this is why they're kind of so anti-organic life forms, and they even try and guilt Isaac into having him read Roots. And he's like, yeah, but these humans aren't like that. You know, these people aren't like this one person that they're talking about in Roots, or like the slave owners, basically. And that kind of says a lot, that even like a robot can see that we have evolved, that we still do some kind of horrible things, but we've evolved a little bit. And yeah, so he does kind of use that as an example of probably, I think that actually worked in the humans' favor a little bit to show that we've kind of evolved a little bit from that. So of course he kills the main Kalon, and he even figures out a way, okay, there's a way I can deactivate all the Kalon on the ship with a giant EM pulse, like you would be able to. All the science makes sense in the universe too. I'm not saying, wait a minute, that's not how that works. All the elementary school, even high school level science seems to really work for me anyway. Unlike Discovery. So he says, yeah, this is gonna kill me and everybody else, and of course he sends out the shockwave. Then after the giant space battle where the Kalon are like, they go home, they're like, you know, okay, Isaac, you're alone. You don't come home to us anymore. And I think they've kind of figured he was deactivated or dead, right? after all that, Isaac's looking out the window, taking the last picture of home, trying to find Kaylon on the planet. Claire goes up to him, and she basically says, you know, I this is where forgiveness starts. She's so wise and brilliant. They don't just get right back together. She knows, she understands what kind of a big ordeal and what kind of growth Isaac went through just to turn on his own people like that. Now he's alone in the universe, you know. Ed and Kelly they're meeting with the Admiral even in a scene where they're basically saying, yeah, we need to be better than this. We can't just go and dissect Isaac. You know, we want to reactivate him. We need to, you know, well, I think it was now that he was reactivated. We can't just like take him apart. We can't just kill him. He didn't, you know, we have to be better than this. So they let Isaac go back on the bridge of the Orville, or back on as the crew of the Orville. And that's going to be something that people are going to have to deal with, as somebody who actually killed people on the crew. Well, Isaac didn't actually kill anybody, but he did bring in the invasion. And they're gonna actually deal with that. Unlike Ash Tyler on Discovery, who killed somebody and like, well, that's done. Who cares, right? This is so good. This is how I want to see humanity. I want to see people like Ed Mercer saying, yeah, we have to kind of evolve a little bit past this. And he even said, yeah, I will be responsible for Isaac, because Isaac has nowhere else to go. Isaac is still a valuable member of the crew. We still have to kind of be better than that, because he still did turn on his entire people, sacrificing himself, or he thought he would. And here's the kicker, how they got him back to life. Yaphet was so important. Everything that happens in the show has a payoff. You know, Yaphet going in, oozing inside of the Kaylon to short circuit him. Well, Yaphet comes into sickbay and says, I think I can figure out how to reactivate Isaac, because I was inside of this other Kaylon. And I think I kind of know the basics of how to get him to work. And it almost killed Yaphet too, protecting the little boy. I love everything about this episode. Go watch this episode. So yeah, Yaphet brings Isaac back to life. Sorry if it's a little jumbled. Go watch this episode. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Yeah, like I said, 10 out of 10. These past 2 episodes together, I was a little cautious, even though I did give the last episode a 10 out of 10 as well, because it is a 2-parter. They could have really screwed the pooch on this one, and they didn't. They met my expectations. There was a few little things that were predictable, but there's a lot of stuff that wasn't. I had no idea they were going to bring in the Krill. I thought Isaac was going to turn on the rest of the Kaylon, but I thought it was going to be because of Claire. It was because of Ty. I probably should have seen that coming too. I was engaged, entertained. I loved every bit of this. I love seeing these characters. I cannot recommend this enough if you like Star Trek or Stargate or Firefly, even Babylon 5. This is kind of a good successor. This is going to be another one in my top shows that I really, really love. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am Mecha42. I will see you guys on the next video or live stream, and we will do live watches or live recaps of the Orville after it airs at 9 p.m. Mountain Time is when I do my live reactions. It's not a reaction. It's basically just a hey, what did you like about it? Did you see it? What did you see? We basically just chat about it right after it airs. So come and hang out with me live after you watch the episode. Watch it live. We need to boost the ratings for the Orville. I will shill for this all day. No one's paying me a dime to shill for it. I absolutely, genuinely love this. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye! Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!